Welcome to Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11.
The fair is here, and we are stoked to bring you Angel of the Winds Casino Resort Motorsports Nights at the fair here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Our show is brought to you by All Ply Roofing. My name is Caleb Hart. He is the incomparable and on-time Ben Iman. And Ben, we have got some fun to be had here tonight. We're going to show off a whole bunch of divisions that ran over at Evergreen Speedway on weekend number 1 at the Evergreen State Fair.
Yeah, we've got a couple different divisions from a couple of different days here. It's been a long, action-packed weekend, and we're going to start with Nelson Motorsports Youth Hornets, and then we're going to throw a little bit of everything at you following this.
It is the veritable potluck of a show tonight is what it is. So.
Exactly. It's multicultural night here on Evergreen Speedway.
I like it. That'll work. So we'll start out with the Nelson Motorsports Youth Hornets, and as you can see, they are running the tri-oval tonight on the inside, so a little bit longer track, a little more speed. Corners are going to be different as well. Let's give you your lineup for this first main event of the evening. Caleb Williams out of Gold Bar, car number 50. Taylor Thompson, car number 4 out of Snohomish, sponsored by Weather Right Roofing. 15's Lane Peters, the Revive Coffee sponsored car. And Harley Jenkins from Maltby, the I'd Hit That Motorsports, number 5J.
Kylie Ann Surian pilots the 67 out of Snohomish, sponsored by Waltz Woodco. Starting next to the number 43, Mason Blodgett. He's out of Lake Stevens, sponsored by Allied Motorsports. Jacob Levitt pilots the 14 out of Buckley, sponsored by Cameron Iverson. And the 35J, Hawk Jenkins, is out of Maltby, sponsored by I'd Hit That Motorsports. Sawyer Holden in the 32, sponsored by Weather Right Roofing, brings up the field.
Let's let them loose. Green flag for our first feature of the evening here on Home Track Heroes.
And Caleb, we're immediately spreading out 3 wide, and contact, and Harley up into the air.
Well, I didn't think we were going to have monster trucks on the show, but what do you know? We got a little monster trucking Youth Hornet style to start us off.
And JD throwing a yellow because he's not surprised.
It's a brisk yellow, too.
It is.
As if he was a little irritated. Well, let's watch them. They're 4 wide, condensing to 3 wide for 2 lanes, and then out in front of all of them around goes Thompson.
Whoa.
And whoop. No, they're not supposed to go airborne.
Yeah, just up on, that's Harley Jenkins, just gets up on the side of the Caleb Williams car. Let's go on board with Taylor Thompson, just trying to run her line, and then she's around, and then sees a car coming right at her. Oh my goodness.
A car out of nowhere. The division that's supposed to be getting up in the air is coming up in a little bit. Yeah.
Maybe this is Harley's audition for the Ranger jump trucks, and we'll go on board with Harley. Sees a bit of a gap here, maybe tries to poke it in, gets Thompson loose.
You know what it is? It's the purple light.
Sure.
Yeah, distracting, right?
Yeah.
So purple light, kind of like moth to the flame, going after the other purple car, and there we go.
Yeah, so...
Well, talk about an auspicious start.
You know what?
Here I was hoping for a nice, calm, controversy-free show today, and not so much. All right, well,
we're going to restart him single file. Taylor Thompson's going to get her spot back. We did not complete a lap, so we're just going to... Everyone go back to where you were. But Kylie Ann Surian, so we lost the 50 of Caleb Williams, we've lost the 15 of Lane Peters, and we've lost the 5J of Harley Jenkins.
We took out a third of the field in one corner.
Row 2 is gone, and the outside of row 1 is also gone. So Surian will move up. Blodgett will now refire third. Levitt to 4th, Hawk Jenkins to 5th, and then Sawyer Holden, the big mover, up 3 spots.
And they're single file, because clearly they cannot be trusted to start 2 by 2.
Yeah, we're done with that, but it doesn't mean we're not immediately going to jump to 3 wide, because Kylie Ann Surian to the inside, Mason Blodgett has been, his first season of Youth Hornet Racing has made, I think, just steady improvements every time out, and now starting to run towards the front of these A mains, and here comes Jacob Levitt as well, Hawk Jenkins biding his time, and he'll move his way forward, and Sawyer Holden, maybe some problems with the 4 car of Thompson because she's immediately off the pace just a tad bit.
You know, I like the new Surian car. The new Surian car debuting. It's looking awfully good, but in retrospect, the orange underglow makes it look like the car is the Human Torch. And that's bad. We don't want that.
Yeah, the first time I saw it, I was a little bit concerned because I thought it was all coming out of the brakes as Jacob Levitt's going to go around the outside. Jacob Levitt pulling double duty, running Hornets and Youth Hornets multiple times this season. Taking it right to the big boys, he says. But Kylie Ann Surian, the Human Torch car, that might stick.
It might. Although, they could always change the underglow. And
that is true. And if it was green, we'd look like fools.
She'd look like the Incredible Hulk.
Oh, there we go. Comic book car.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why. I'm on a Marvel kick at the moment. So it all works. Surian sitting second, trying to chase down Levitt as she shakes out the bugs in the new mobile. Levitt, your leader, and Blodgett hanging out in position number 3. These laps are going to go quick, by the way. Normally, this course only a fifth of a mile long. Elongated a little bit because we've tri-ovaled the back straightaway, but not by a huge amount.
Yeah, having to stay away from that big stack of crushed cars that thankfully none of the Youth Hornets have crushed so far. Those aren't for you. Surian's trying to maybe get to the inside, might send it in deep here on Jacob Levitt, but Levitt holding that high line, trying to make this tri-oval work for him, although Surian's going to have the bottom lane and make it stick for now. So they're side by side as they're coming back to the line.
You know, the lighting under that car is flickering a little bit. It's like the warm fireplace that you put on at Christmas on Netflix.
Yeah.
Right? But fast.
It is rapid fast as it's getting back up to the lead. Here comes Mason Blodgett trying to get behind Jacob Levitt. Hawk Jenkins maybe can make the 35J stick and get to the inside of Blodgett. We'll push the 43 out to the high groove. We'll go on board with Mason Blodgett in the Allied Motorsports machine, getting right on the back bumper of Jacob Levitt. Beep, beep.
Almost. For the in-car cam review, and a big thank you to Brandy and her team for doing all of the in-car work that has added so much to our show here on Home Track Heroes. Blodgett with the cowcatcher front bumper is looking into the corner and see if he gets aggressive on Levitt up ahead of him for second.
Yeah, just trying to make a move stick right now. Jacob doing a good job throwing the block right now. You can see that rear view mirror. Not sure that Jacob's using it to try to block right now, but Blodgett's not been able to find a way around, so good defensive driving from Levitt. We'll see, maybe does Hawk Jenkins, Sawyer Holden throw anything at Mason, saying, you've had a few laps trying to get around Jacob. Let's give us a shot.
Well, we're beyond halfway at this point as Surian crosses, and that puts us down to just 9 laps to go here in this main. They go quick. Still not a lot of time, and Mason with the move. There he goes.
Inside. Ooh, couldn't quite make it stick. Backed out of it. Smart move. Smart racing for Mason right there, although now he's going to come under fire from Hawk Jenkins, who gave a bump and might have bumped and run himself, as here comes Sawyer Holden. Contact between the two of them down the front stretch. Oh, I think they're hooked together, Caleb.
Oh, that's bad. The bump and run is not so effective when you end up hooked up with the car in front of you.
No, we'll see. No, that's going to finish it. Caution flag is Holden and Jenkins are...
I hate it when you do the race car version of swipe right on Tinder and you meant to swipe left. That's bad for both of them.
Yeah, they're going to come in. You can see here, it looks like the front bumper of Jenkins just snags Holden, and Holden's going to drag him around. And no matter how hard you drive that wheel, it's going to be hard to get those two cars disconnected.
Or, hear me out, if you're Jenkins, right? Ready? 1, 2, 3, and just lift. Let Holden do all the work.
That could also work.
You can serve gas, right? You can serve a little bit of effort and time. You might slow the 32 down enough that just the right time, zoom, you go right up by him.
Yeah, that would have been worth a shot, maybe, as you can see Holden here immediately kind of realizing, I'm carrying a lot more weight than I was before.
Why is this car so lugging down at the moment?
Yeah.
What in the world?
It's not digging like it was.
Although I did like the sticker panel that he had going there, right, of all the podium finishes and such that he had right on the dash. That was kind of cool.
I like it too. I like the driver's creativity with the insides of the cars. Not something we get to see a lot, but thanks to Brandy and her team, it's something we do.
All right, 6 cars still left. And another 8 laps to go, and now they're all bunched up nice and tight. From the tri-oval, Kylie and Surian setting a pace on these pace laps so you can time with a sundial as she'll creep her way in through corner number 3 and creep her way out of corner number 4.
Mason they're stacking up behind her. There we go.
It's a test of patience for our 12 to 14-year-olds here on the Nelson Motorsports Youth
an age
Hornet
group
division.
that is typically known for nothing but patience and knowing that it's a virtue.
Right. Good things will come. Just let it happen.
Well, Mason Blodgett's ready to make a good thing happen. That would be second place if he can get to Jacob Levitt. He's been trying this for a handful of laps. We'll go on board with right now the 14 of Levitt, throwing the block again on Blodgett. These two cars have been sparring for a handful of laps now, and we'll see if Mason has anything to throw at Mr. Levitt.
Throw another thing at him here. They're not used to running in the darkness.
No, it's true. Usually first class out.
Absolutely. So this is a little bit different for them in terms of track temperature, tire temperature, and just visuals. You see how dark it is out there for them as they're used to be in the bright, bright daylight, our first feature of the evening most times.
Yeah, so I like when we throw the curveball at them and, change the track up a little bit, change the weather conditions. You can see the bright lights of the fair in the background of some of these shots, and the lights are on for the Youth Hornets, and it's time to see who shines brightest.
Well, right now, Kylie Ann Surian is the one shining. quite literally underneath the car, with 4 laps to go from the speed shot, as nobody is done in this one. They're still hustling. In fact, you saw Jenkins in the 35J trying to hustle to make his way up and into third. But time's running out. 3 to go this time by.
Yeah, I wonder if Hawk, that card, maybe just not handle and responding well. Maybe something's off since he got hooked to Sawyer Holden's machine. But Hawk just trying to boogie his way forward and see if he can get a shot to this. We'll see if Blodgett has anything to throw at Jacob Levitt, as Surian's got 2 more laps to go. But Blodgett, he's right there, but has yet to be able to make the pass. It's one thing to have speed to get to the car in front of you. It's never to have enough speed to make a move.
Credit to Mason, too. He has not gotten aggressive with the bumper. He has really run clean in behind Jacob Levitt here with 1 lap to go.
Yeah, we'll see. If
does it hold?
Does Mason now does he choose to throw a little bit over?
Yeah, did I lay my first whammy of the night?
I'm not sure. Kylie Surian, however, is going to roll through the last set of turns here, come back to the podium, and pick up another Youth Hornet feature win.
Well done, Kylie Ann. Look at that. Oh, Levitt gets a little bit, swervy there at the end.
Yeah, just made a light lunge for the line.
Yeah, that'll work. So they all drive through. They're all clean here in this one as the Nelson Motorsports Youth Hornet A main event finishes up. We'll talk to your top 3 down on the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium.
Mason, a chaotic race gets you up here on the podium. How does it feel to do it in front of the fair crowd?
Awesome.
Hard competition there for quite a while between you and the number 14X. Just a little too short this time. You think you can get him next time?
Yeah.
And who would you like to thank for your 3rd place tonight?
My mom, my dad, JBR Racing, Allied Motorsport, Joe's Racing Products, and the Young Inc.
Driver of the number 43, 3rd place in the A main event, Mason Blodgett. Got the special opportunity to watch you improve as the season has gone on. Starting out the B main, now coming home 2nd at the fair in the A main event. How's that feel?
It feels pretty good. I haven't got a podium in a minute in Youth Hornets. I've only done really Hornets that I've got podiums in, so it feels pretty good.
You certainly put on a show out there each and every week, Hornets or Youth Hornets. Who would you like to thank for that?
Thank God, my dad, mom, Josh, Jack Racing, and I think that's everybody. And those 2 kids right there that were cheering me on.
Driver the number 14X, Jacob Levitt, 2nd place in the Youth Hornet A. Kylie, I know it has been an up and a down season at times for you. How's it feel in front of the fair crowd to take home the A main win?
It feels great to be back on the podium. We've had a lot of issues with my car, but we're finally getting it sorted out.
Piecing that car back together has got to be pretty hard. Who's back there in the pits helping you do it?
I'd like to give special thanks to Waltz Woodco, Chip Happens, thank you for all you guys have done, McCarthy Electric, GC Auto Group, Reppin' Welding and Rail, Simply Rocks, Napa and Darrington, Les Schwab, and Snohomish for all the last minute stuff. Thank you so much. Brandy Hood Promotions, Hired Stana Construction, J2 Racing, Honest Transmission and Auto Repair, and Best Towing, all the fans out here, my family, and just everyone for being so supportive and great.
Your A main event winner, pilot of number 67, Kylie Ann Surian.
Home Track Heroes continues here on Seattle 11. He is Ben Iman. I am Caleb Hart. Our show brought to you by All Ply Roofing. Spec Ranger trucks are on the card from a standing start, the Ranger trucks.
That's right.
Reminder, as you guys are watching and discussing this with your friends, every time you call the truck a car, it costs you $1. $1 goes into the family pizza fund or whatever the heck you want to put it towards. I'm fining Ben $2 per truck to car reference during this one, and finding myself $0 because I can.
You can take the the googly-eyed truck did not get started.
Is that Higginbotham's 13 truck, the Bear Construction Machine?
That is Matt Higginbotham's 13 truck.
All right. Now, they don't have to hit the jumps, but they're supposed to hit the jumps.
Right. If your truck is not, they said, unless you've been approved ahead of time, or if you radio in and being like, I don't think the jump's going to help. They'll let you
Right.
skip the jump. But take the jump because it's cool.
My truck is compromised, like things.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, gotcha. So that's Higginbotham in the googly-eyed 13 truck. Celebrity driver Calvin Miller out of Arlington is in the Icon Shocks 17 truck. The 27 truck is Jalen Vick. It's one of the Bear Construction trucks. And the 33 truck is Kevin Kaufman, sponsored by Art Art Printing. So those are your 4 trucks, and it's a slightly different course than last time because they're having a bob and weave.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I think these trucks can do is they can run some really unique style of courses. You can see they're kind of serpentining through all the crush cars, and now Calvin Miller's trying to take it to Jalen Vick and go to the outside if he can. But this is going to be really interesting. Calvin Miller, Northwest Pro 4 truck driver, driving a different style of truck tonight.
It has only been members of the Vick family who have won Spec Ranger truck features so far on the year. Calvin Miller, though, taking the lead as they jump over the ramp with 11 to go here in the Spec Ranger Trucks Road Course Racing.
Yeah, the rules for these trucks, they are truly spec in a lot of ways. There's only a handful of different Rangers you can run. They all have to be Ford Rangers. There's some limited packages and very limited things you can do to modify them. Obviously, there's safety features, but
Yep, they're on
just how you would have bought them off the road.
They're on a spec tire and wheel as well. So, yeah, it's, hey, build a Ranger and basically come out here and jump it off things and run in between things.
At the current moment, you're guaranteed a top 5.
You are. Heck, a top 4.
Yeah. So we were going over the jumps, and you could see the Kevin Kaufman catching some secondary errors. We're going to go on board with Vic in the 27 trying to run down his own truck.
That's a lot of steering wheel input going on there.
Yeah.
As they're having to make some big old sharp turns, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're going through this weight transfer hairpin back up onto the 3/8, and Jalen's really
2
wheeling this thing.
entire spins of the wheel.
Yeah, now it gets back in this long run down to the straightaway, cut back the access road to come down this way, and then back towards the jumps, which the white side steel jumps here, and just the hand off the wheel as you land, and just barely don't hit that uke tire. And the trucks are squirrely, Caleb. That is a big thing. They like to spin out. We did. I've seen these trucks a handful of times now. We have rolled one once already.
One truck roll.
They rolled up onto its side. It didn't do like a full roll over, and there goes Miller.
Race leader decides to get a more intimate view of the uke tire off the hairpin.
But if you look at this Higginbotham truck, if we get a good picture, it is missing quite a few body parts right now, and a mirror and more, because it might have gone for a little bit of a tumble in practice.
It's that truck that was on its side.
Yes.
I see. Well, side view mirrors, who cares about those things, right?
You don't need them.
No, that's not like we're using turn signals out here.
I mean, I don't use them on my street car.
Why does that check out? We got a battle for the lead. Here is Vic and Kevin Kaufman trying to make the move. Jalen hanging on.
Jalen's going to come really far up the track and might compromise his run down the back straightaway. The Ardor printing machine, Kevin Kaufman, a rookie to racing at Evergreen Speedway this year in the Spec Ranger division, is really trying to go down the inside. Here we go. This is a huge run. They're going to go side by side over the jump.
Whoa, Dukes of Hazzard style coming over there.
And now Kaufman.
No.
Overcooked it.
Yeah. Like you said, they're squirrely.
They are squirrely. It takes a lot of wheel man to be able to handle one of these, or wheel woman.
Wheel person?
Wheel person.
I like it.
Okay, it takes a lot of wheel person to be able to handle one of these.
So it's Vic and Miller back. Calvin Miller, familiar to Whitney Races and Trucks.
Mm-hmm.
However, different truck.
And he hasn't had to take that Pro 4 truck that he normally drives over a white side steel jump ramp.
Well, we could throw the ramp out there later when the Pro 4 trucks are on the program.
I say we give it for the mini bump cars.
Also a good idea.
I know.
So, big lead change. Calvin Miller picks it up from Vic. Vic, little love tap. There goes Kaufman.
Yeah, which lots of...
He had so much fun on that first spin, he wanted to do it again.
I don't blame him. It looks like it would be fun. Right now, Calvin Miller is done well to drive back to Jalen Vick after spinning and has gotten back to the lead. And Calvin has been so dominant in something that is not a car, a truck, a lot this season. So I'm not surprised to see him picking up to this pretty quickly as we're going to go up over the ramp again. Maybe find a note to put a GoPro on that ramp next time.
Ooh, That could be fun.
That could be fun. We might lose 1, 3, 7 GoPros by the end of the night.
A GoPro per lap.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
Speaking of laps, we've only got 4 of them to go. Right now, the question is, can Jalen Vick run down Calvin Miller? Calvin, ooh.
Yeehaw.
Go, Jalen!
Whoa, dueling yeehaw.
You know, I think I like to see the little, maybe the little hints of drift in the Spec Ranger trucks.
Well, we need to take a second and thank the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort. Yeah, the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort and RV Resort, the official casino resort of Evergreen Speedway. Angel of the Winds takes great pride in being the best in customer service, entertainment, lodging, fun, and gaming in the entire Northwest.
Miller's doing a good job here, keeping the truck underneath him. Not easy to do. Jalen Vick's really driving that in deep to that corner, trying to close up. This is what I've noticed. The 27 truck, Caleb, has cornered better, but the 17 truck has just had more raw speed in these straight sections. We go on board with the Ardor printing machine of Kevin Kaufman in the 33, going to try to run down Matt Higginbotham. As you can see, a little bit of a shot of Higginbotham's missing left side of body panel.
It's a flesh wound. It's fine.
It is, as he's still taking the white side steel jump. Oh, just the hits seem so much more violent from the in-car.
For sure. That's a buck, by the way. That's a $2 fine.
You can take that off of Racy Raccoon's total that he owes me.
Rabid Raccoon.
He owes me a lot of money, Caleb.
It is 2 to go, coming into 1 to go here for Miller in the Vic truck and Vic in the not Vic truck.
Yep, that sounds about right.
As they come off the corner, and there's the white flag. One more time around, Jalen Vick thrashing it into the first corner.
Oh, does he lay a little bit of bumper? Does he give him a little bit of?
Well, he'll gonna have to fix his own truck.
Oh, Kevin Kaufman giving us a fist pump over the line. There's still one more lap, sir.
I didn't realize that he was from Jersey. Fist pumping,
yeah.
Jim tanning laundry, yeah, love it. Back straight away for the final time here. Miller getting away. Vic trying to make one last charge. I have a feeling we have our first non-Vic winner in the Vic truck.
Mm-hmm.
And coming to her, Calvin Miller finishes it off.
Yeah, great, tough finish there. Great run for Calvin Miller. It looks like Kevin Kaufman will recover the 33 machine and get it back to third place. Matt Higginbotham will round out your 4.
Checkered. Bang. All right. Fist pump. Couldn't see it in either of them. Let's talk to him. Calvin Miller goes to the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium.
Kevin, that was you had a little bit of a recovery drive there because those trucks just seem to be so loose when you come through that section of crush cars. Talk to me about trying to keep the truck under control and how much of how hard are those things to handle?
Well, it's not too hard to handle, but I was really pushing. I wanted that win real bad, and I think you could tell. I pushed pretty hard on the first heat, too. Pushed a little hard, too hard, I think. But, it all bangs out, and we had a great time. I can't thank Vic Brothers Racing enough and Ardor Printing for making the truck look so good. Thank you guys for being here. This is an amazing event. Thank you.
All right, second place tonight, driver of the 33, Kevin Kaufman. Well, you hopped in that 27 tonight, and it was quite a battle there. You and Calvin were going back and forth. Just talk me through, what more do you think you needed to try to get to Calvin?
Maybe a little setup work, because I could not get any power to the ground. It was just spinning the tire everywhere. Maybe I could have been a little smoother coming out of 4 over here before hitting the jump, because I was endoing pretty hard. But other than that, I felt like the truck had the speed. Calvin was just running away from me.
And who helps you get those trucks out here?
I would like to thank Shane Bear with Bear Construction, Vic Brothers Racing, Raceline Wheels, Icon Shocks, Tire Pros for helping us get all the tires. My mom and my dad and my brother for letting me do this. So, yeah. And Evergreen Speedway, too. Thank you.
All right, second place tonight. Let's make some noise one more time. All right, Calvin, we're going to see you tomorrow in the Pro 4 truck division. Just walk me really fast, the difference between driving one of those and driving your Pro 4 truck that we'll see here tomorrow.
Oh, I mean, it's wildly different. I mean, we don't have a jump first off we hit in our Pro 4 trucks, and it's nothing like I've ever drove before out here at Monroe.
Well, did you at least have some fun hopping behind the wheel of one of those?
I had a great time. It was such a blast. I never thought I'd get the opportunity to get in one of those till I got a phone call this morning. Of course, I had to say yes.
And who do you want to thank for the opportunity, and anyone else you want to thank in general?
I need to give a big shout out to John, Jonah, and Jalen Vick. 8 months ago, this class didn't even exist, and now we're out here putting on a show for all the fans, for everybody. I need to thank Tire Pros, Raceline, Wheels and Tires, and my mom and dad for coming out, and my sister for supporting me, and everybody that helped the truck get as fast as it is.
All right, he's picked up a win today. We'll see if he can go 2 for 2 on the weekend tomorrow. Calvin Miller takes the 17 to victory lane.
Spec trucks continuing to build. We'll see more of them down the road. For right now, back to road course action. It's time. PRCBD Hornet, a main event lineup. 21 cars starting this one, and the front couple of rows look like this.
Kenny Shukar will lead us from the front, driving the 68 machine. He starts next to the 33X of Jeremy Matthews out of Monroe. Pacific Metallurgical Incorporated aboard the 33X. Pat Folger, the Olympia Pizza Machines, is in the 30 on row number 2, starting next to Tanner Bjornson, the 01 out of Arlington, sponsored by All Ply Roofing.
The third row out of Marysville is the GN Northwest 19 of Scarlett Fisher. And to her outside, the 03 of Ryan Hausenfluck out of Granite Falls, the Cornerstone Homes car. Fourth row is Dan Miller, the 00 out of Everett, sponsored by Exterior Wall Systems to his outside. 65 of Bryson Wingfield out of Monroe, sponsored by his papa, Tony Hill.
Brad Gruel pilots the G2 tonight, the Estes heating and cooling machine, next to the 45 of Trinity Reppin out of Snohomish. She's sponsored by Reppin Welding and Rail. Peyton Hops in the cut shop of Woodinville 16 out of Snohomish, starting next to Matt Snyder in the 15. He's also out of Snohomish, sponsored by Handy in the Valley.
Row number 7 to the insides, the defending champion, the 1 junior of Zach Bristol in the Hibbs Automotive car out of Snohomish, and the 08 of Bobby Hauk, the Snow Valley Farms car from Snohomish as well through his outside. Damon Claiborne from Snohomish, sponsored by Kia Everett's in the 43, and Dustin Lytle is in the 21L out of Marysville, sponsored by Braven Metals.
The 024 is Donna Gillespie out of Salem, Oregon. She's sponsored by Waltz Wood Co. She'll start next to the 17S. Gino Solomon out of North Bend. He's sponsored by Valley Asphalt. Jacob Levitt returns in the 14 out of Buckley, sponsored by Cameron Iverson. Christian Miller in the 77 out of Everett, sponsored by Turbo Espresso. And Brian McNamara in the 101 out of Snohomish, sponsored by Trueline Wheel and Frame of Seattle. And Caleb, we're running to the green.
It is 21 cars, 30 laps on one of our road courses. And the green flag is out. We are underway here on Home Track Heroes.
This is amended DOS boot?
It's a little bit different.
DOS bloated boot?
Yeah, you gotta dodge and weave around some of the stacks of crushed cars for the monster trucks. So
quickly, the car I'm watching, Dan Miller, the 00, the Silver Bullet, has moved his way up into the top 5 already, and running away. And problems for Trinity Reppin. She touches the inside concrete wall and into the grass. Now Shukar giving Pat Folger a bit of a bump through this section. We'll see if Trinity can get the car refired or if we're going to have to call the caution. And there it is.
Hey, look at that.
Hi, Ronnie.
Self-fulfilling prophecy there.
Yeah. JD throws the yellow.
All right. Caution flag is out, and we're going to get more than a few looks at how it all went down, and off the front bumper of somebody, Trinity Reppin around.
Yeah, we're going to take a look here. Onboard Reppin holding the line and bump and grass.
All of a sudden, the car doesn't want to drive straight anymore.
Yeah, not much I think she could do there. Go on board. Looks like, Bobby Hauk was the one who got into the back of Reppin there. That was the onboard with Donna. Now we'll go on board with Gino Solomon.
Looks like the same thing. Here's from Christian Miller.
Yeah, just tough break for Trinity.
Right back in the mirror. We'll give our 6th and final look at that one. So we will have to re-rack them, re-stack them, and set them back out as full run of laps coming up here in the Hornets. Big show for them in front of the packed grandstand here at Evergreen Speedway.
Yeah, they did get a lap in, so we'll move around a little bit. Pat Folger now on the front row with Kenny Shukar, Scarlett Fisher, and Dan Miller row 2. So Jeremy Matthews back to row 3 is kind of the big shift at the front when we'll go restarting. We have the Speedway Chevrolet pace car. It has been found. Don Fairley was caught napping in a scone coma. So that's where you might have noticed we had a Cascade Push Truck Association member helping us with the Youth Hornets earlier. We found Don Fairley. We've woken him up from his scone coma, and he's got the pace car out here leading the Hornets to the green.
I'm surprised we were able even to get him out of the scone line.
He was found in a coma in the car, and what I did is I bought an elephant ear and just wafted it around his nose a couple of times until he woke up like a cartoon.
Don does love his fair food.
He does.
Right. We are back underway. Who doesn't love fair food? That's the thing. Folger's going to get out into the lead. Kenny Shukar, who's racing on his Social Security check, sitting in second. And it is Dan Miller and Scarlett Fisher running in the third spot. Give it to Dan.
Yeah, Dan moving the Silver Bullet forward. Here comes Brad Gruhl in the G2. Always a threat whenever he's in the field. And that is a Snyder car. I believe that is the 15 of Matt Snyder, who's made his way forward quickly. It's Pat Folger doing well, leading laps. Good run for Pat tonight.
Good run indeed. Miller up to second as he'll pick the spot away from Kenny. So we go in car with Ryan Hausenfluck, and an interesting situation for him. We talked about the lighting for the Youth Hornets. You're kind of twilight right now for the Hornet division. Not quite day, not quite night, and just dark enough to be a problem. Yeah,
Ryan doing his best running Lucas's car. Lucas unfortunately broke his collarbone in a kickball accident. That's why Ryan Hausenfluck is in the car. And Ryan actually confronted me before the race, put the finger at my chest, and was like, "Hey, can you please stop cursing me? I'd like to drive good again."
Oh, Gruhl and Shukar making contact through the corner. Scarlett Fisher taking advantage. She'll pick up a spot. As here's for the lead, Dan Miller making the early bid.
Ooh, a little contact there between House and Bjornsson. They were 3 wide as well. You can see with the onboard. House falling a little bit further back, but Dan Miller is going to clear Pat Folger, and new race leader, the Silver Bullet, Dan Miller.
Makes the quick left turn into turn number 3 of our 3/8, and opens her up by a car length or 2 as he'll come through the corner. Brad Gruhl, our most recent podium finisher. He did end up second in that one, didn't he? That's right. So second place for him in that one. No, here comes
Flintstone.
Yeah,
he's cramping.
David Claiborne to a stop in the turn. Caution flag out.
That's what happens when you have a race car that requires you to run the entire time, is sometimes you cramp, Caleb.
All right, so here is Damon directly ahead of Peyton Hobb. Oh, yeah. Left side into the tire barrier, and that'll do her. Glad Damon put his gloves on for this one, but as he comes through, there's a nice little smash. And you can see the vibration start in the car. So, hurt something on the left side of it.
Yeah, just that's a tough break.
And you can hear it. That thing is just not running right. So, we'll take a time out. We'll come back. We have got more PRCBD Hornet main event action when we come back on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Just a few laps in. Felt like we were a little bit longer than that, but yeah, the ticker only shows 5 laps down here on the PRCBD Hornet main event here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Our show brought to you by All Ply Roofing. I'm Caleb Hart. He is the punctual Ben Iman, as it is Dan Miller, your race leader, Pat Folger in second, Brad Gruhl battling for the 3rd spot at the moment. And we are just about to come back to green flag action.
Yeah, some big movers. Talked about Dan Miller. He started on row number 4 to get up to the lead. Brad Gruhl started row 5. Zach Bristol starting right behind Matt Snyder on row number 4. He started on row number 7. So, again, Hornets, big inverts, and the fast car's got to come from the back. And right now, Dan Miller gets the green, gets a good push on that inside from Gruhl.
Except for sometimes when the fast cars are up front. That happens once in a while.
That does happen once in a while.
Yes. So it's Miller jumping out to lead. Matt Snyder working side by side with the 19 of Scarlett Fisher as they'll go after it. I do like how they've got the more distinct 15 now on the rear quarter panel of the car.
Yep.
So.
And there is like a tape X over the 717.
Oh,
you
beautiful.
can see right there. It's like X'd out.
That works out way better.
Works for me.
Well, Snyder's got a lot of speed, and Fisher's showing a little bit of smoke coming off that turn. So this portends well for Matt Snyder. He'll make the pass and try to settle in behind Folger to work his way into the top 3 as you get a look at Peyton Hobb from the in-car camera.
Yeah, Brad Gruhl all over the back of Dan Miller now. Here comes Brad trying to throw something at Dan, see what he can do, try to make it to the outside. Brad Gruhl knows all these tracks well and is always a threat to win in his G2 when he makes his way out. Right now you're watching Peyton Hobb and Zach Bristol battle side by side on the in-car cam. This is through the weight transfer section of Das Boot. And advantage on this one, neither. They were pulling along each other, and now I guess you could say advantage Bristol.
Watching further back in the field as drivers moving their way forward. That is the race for 3rd on the left-hand side of your screen, and give it to Matt Snyder as some smoke showing from the 30 of Folger, and that may cost him as Snyder moves his way up into a podium result with a lot of time left to go.
Yeah, good run so far for Snyder. Some of the cars and the names we expect to see at the front of these races starting to pop up. Brad Gruhl still biting and itching and crawling, trying to find a way around Dan Miller. Dan cornering better than Brad right through this section, but Brad getting a huge run out of the turns, and that's why he's had such a big run to the straightaway. Dan's really having, I think, played defense well through this weight transfer section.
On this course in particular, you spent a lot of time cornering as we got two together, and one of them, Peyton Hopp, slowing up. This is the long straightaway section of it. Watch him in and through as Miller trying to hold off Gruhl. Snyder still sitting third.
I think Zach Bristol was involved in that also with Peyton Hopp. Lots of tire smoke there. Here comes Christian Miller. Haven't talked much about him so far today, but Dan's son Christian starting to make his way around Pat Folger. I think that will be for 5th right now, and so maybe could potentially get an all-Miller podium with 19 to go. Well, it can't be an all-Miller. There's not a third Miller in the field, but
we could artificially come up with one.
Yeah,
we could bestow an honorary Miller.
Is that, we can.
Scarlett Fisher is flying the GN Northwest sponsorship. That's Dan's built business. So
all right.
That could be the honorary Miller for the night.
That works.
All right.
Are we gonna have a weekly honorary Miller?
It's an idea.
Okay.
We'll discuss that.
We'll float it by Dan and Christian.
In the next production meeting, that'll come up.
Okay.
It is Dan Miller, 00, Brad Gruhl, G2, and hey, look, it's the honorary Miller, Scarlett Fisher. We're going in car with the Brandy Hood Promotions in-car camera, and watch her hustle up some laps.
Here comes Gruhl, really chomping at the bit, trying to get to Dan Miller. Matt Snyder, by the way, loving this battle because he's been able to close up a lot of raw speed in that 15. Always a threat when he's on field to make clean passes and try to get to the lead. So not surprised to see that 15 starting to close up to the leaders, and still lots of lap time to go. 17 laps. So plenty of time for these drivers to pick and choose their spots and make their way forward.
We're prior to halfway still here in this main event as Das Boot is not racing particularly fast tonight. These are elongated laps. As you get a look, Zach Bristol, whatever that incident was with Peyton Hopp, he has been able to make his way forward solidly into your top 10. Now sitting, I believe, in position number 7.
Good run right now for the one junior. It's him and Damon Claiborne. That is your points battle. Christian Miller teetering on the edge of that too for the Hornet title at the end of the year here. So I'm sure Zach knows Damon's having issues, and Damon obviously hit the tire barrier earlier. We saw that, so he's capitalizing on Claiborne, but sees Christian Miller running in front of him and wants to make sure Christian stays a distant threat for championship night.
To be fair to Damon, that tire barrier came out of nowhere.
It's true.
Yeah,
it just leaped out of there.
Was invisible. It was almost the John Cena of tire barriers.
I'm running out of Fred Flintstone references to put in here, but who's the villain in the Fred Flintstones?
Ooh.
Capitalism?
There's a progress?
Yeah, could be.
Miller, Gruhl, and Snyder is getting closer as time ticks away. That's the halfway mark right there. 15 down, 15 to go.
They're running so many clean laps. I'm so proud of them.
Hey, green flag laps matter. As here's Scarlett Fisher and Christian Miller. Look out. Get to honorary sister and then try to race her clean.
Yeah, and then here's Gino Solomon poking his nose around and just seeing if he can find a space. Christian going to the outside, going to get a huge run through this turn. The 77 makes his way forward. Are these all the same car? They are.
Yeah, sure looks like it, doesn't it?
We've kind of seen the Hornet division has kind of filtered down to a handful of cars. Not everyone's cool and has a Porsche like Sawyer Holden.
Not everybody can be cool and have a Porsche like Sawyer.
It's true.
Right? So that's a good battle. Miller looks to have the advantage right now in the 77. Gets down, and that should secure him the spot as he comes through the tight corners of the boot portion of Das Boot. Meanwhile, still up front.
Here's Matt Snyder.
Snyder's coming in to throw a wrench into this battle between Gruhl and the G2 and Dan Miller in the 00. All the while, everybody else trying to run him down, including Zach Bristol in the one car, making pass on Scarlett Fisher.
Yeah, followed the line created by Gino Solomon there. That opened the door for Zach to be able to slide on past Scarlett Fisher. So we're clicking them off at a quicker pace now. I feel like we've maybe picked up the pace a little bit, racing a little bit harder, a little bit faster. And Dan Miller, I think, sees these cars behind him and knows, well, yeah, I think I got to pick up on it.
You know, when you're in the lead position, things naturally just go a little bit quicker. The way you have to process, the way everything happens, and one of the skills that you have is slowing things down. That way you're still hitting your mark, still making good laps and getting around. And it's one thing one of the veterans of the division and Dan Miller has been able to do. You rarely we see him make the big mistake. And he's running a pretty flawless race here tonight.
Yeah, Dan Miller has been, he's a steady Eddie. He's not always, flirting at the top of the field on it, but he could, at any night, be in contention for the win. And you can see it here, Dan. A quality driver, a fast car, and that's what you can see. Brad Grewell, who's another quality driver. I talked about how he's a threat to win races, has not been able to find a way around Dan. It is just that when you put a lot of skill and a lot of fast cars together, it's hard to make passes. And talk about skill. Great pass. Matt Snyder saw the door open and made the move.
One thing that Grewell has done consistently is swing open and see what he can do through that corner. That time it bites him because Snyder had the massive head of steam, came up on him. Now Snyder love tapping around as Miller was losing speed coming off the inside of the corner. And Matt Snyder is your new race leader as we are down to single-digit laps to go. And Miller, a problem on the 0-0.
Tough break for the 0-0. Dan Miller just trying to limp it. I think he's not going to be able to get it out of there. I think we're going to get the caution. Yep, there it is. Wow. And how that's going to change things. Christian Miller is going to inherit the podium from his dad right now. And Matt Snyder, Brad Grewell now racing for third and second, now racing for the win.
All right, so we're watching Snyder's car and then behind Miller. There's a little love tap. There's a second love tap, and hard to know if it was broke and then he hit him or what, as Matt Snyder slowing down. That might be, I was wondering if he was making a hand signal there, but I wonder if Snyder was popping the lid on his visor. Yeah, I wonder if he was popping the lid on his visor up there, seeing that race was coming to caution.
Yeah.
So watched again, and something happens to the Miller car for sure as they come around the corner. So, interesting. All right, Snyder and Grewell now will battle for the lead. Grewell again in the chase position. Now it's Snyder up in front of this as we're down to, about 8 laps to go.
Yeah, just a heat race distance. Christian Miller, and this is going to elevate Gino Solomon for a shot at the podium. He'll fire off fourth. Scarlett Fisher's run a great race, been inside the top 5 all night long and trying to hang there. And now she's going to have to defend from Zach Bristol. And a couple of cars who are going to benefit from this field bunching up. Pat Folger, Peyton Hopp, and the reigning Rookie of the Year, Dustin Lytle, 21L.
It's a pretty loaded first couple of rows ahead of Scarlett. So going to be a tough task, but we'll see what the young lady can do. As we are ready, we'll go back to green flag action with a 2x2 restart coming through the corner. Snyder and Grewell pick up the pace coming off of 4.
Here we go. This is going to be a great finish to the end. 8 laps to go. Green flag back out. And Brad Grewell, you can see swinging wide immediately. Wants to see what he can carry. Maybe going to set up a crossover move here. Here comes Christian Miller having to defend from Gino Solomon. Zach Bristol will clear up into 5th. And if you're Zach, your really only title threat driver in the field right now is Christian Miller, and he's only a spot or 2 in front of you, and he was pretty far. He wasn't far back, but he had more of an outside shot coming into the night, so you're probably happy with how you're going points racing right now. But I know Zach Bristol never climbs in the car and goes, I'm going points racing.
No, you go out to try to win, and you let the points seat themselves out. And the way they're going to do. The only night you really points race is the championship night, depending on where you're at. So we will take a second and thank Coastal Community Bank. At Coastal Community Bank, community is our middle name. The Coastal Bank staff takes the time to understand your business and help move it forward. Coastal Community Bank has multiple locations throughout the region to handle every banking need. Details at coastalbank.com.
Brad Grewell is going to have 5.5 more laps to try to get to Matt Snyder. Christian Miller has secured 3rd and is now starting to close up. See, Christian's got the reverse Kylie Ansarian. He's got the Joe Cool blue underglow.
Plus the bumper glow as you see it. He is rolling in hard. Grewell has swung to the outside to try to make a bid in this corner. Checks up, crosses underneath with Miller right in behind him, but it wasn't quite there. Christian Miller, you'll see him in the right-hand side of your screen following as Brad Grewell starting to feel a little froggy. Let's see where he hops. As he comes after Snyder again, he's going to duck to the inside coming off of 4.
Yeah, and I got to say, Grewell carried a lot more speed off this turn this time. Really going to stuff his nose in there. And it's going to pull alongside Matt. Get a huge run right now through this part of the section. And will he clear him into the weight transfer section? He will. New race leader, Brad Grewell, found his move and pounced.
Way to pick your timing there, too, for Brad Grewell, who just timed that up perfectly to make the move. And with 4 to go, this may not be done because Christian Miller just swung to the outside up and around Snyder. Now he's going to have to back off it a little bit getting into this corner. but if he can carry the momentum through, he might have the inside to him in this first part of the hairpin.
Yeah, side by side for second right now. Matt trying to shut the door, but he can't. Christian's right there. Real tough racing. They're really carrying each other through a lot of speed through these corners, and we're still right with each other. Brad Gruel's loving this because he's looking how far he's been able to already drive away from these two, when I could say Gruel has had comparable speed to Snyder and Miller all night long.
There's the push into the corner. Miller cedes the spot back to Snyder as we are coming to the white flag the next time around. 1 to go. Brad Gruel, Matt Snyder, Christian Miller. Miller's got to look to the inside here on Snyder. Let's see if he can make the pass.
Yeah, he's got the inside. Got a huge run here. White flag is out now. We're side by side across the line. Christian's going to get earlier on the brakes, but Matt's going to have to swing wide to try to carry speed through here. Christian up on the gas quicker than Matt. Side by side. They're going to come into the weight transfer portion. Ooh, Matt sends it in deep. Going to shut the door. Makes the move for now. Does Christian have a response?
Down in through. This one looks to be Gruel's.
Whoa.
They're going to bang big time through the corner. Miller gets him and then sneaking through. We've got one more. To the checkered flag we go. And that one was tight. Holy cow. And then we have issues afterwards. It was Solomon 17 who snuck through. Miller gets third, Gruel gets the win, and boy, physical at the end for the PRCBD Hornets. Let's go talk to him on the podium.
All right, Christian, you were our fast time qualifier today, so you got that top banana sticker. You were the quickest coming in this race, and you were quick in those closing laps. Obviously, it's not fun to see your dad, Dan, have issues from the lead, but third place for you guys in the Miller Racing team got to feel pretty good, and you were coming fast to the end of that race.
Yeah, I mean, the car woke up about halfway through, but yeah, it was real disappointing to see, you know, my dad, whatever happened to him, whatever happened to Damon, Zach get caught up in some stuff with Peyton. It's just like half my team had a bad time, but I had a good time, so I can't complain too much. But yeah, that was a really fun course.
Yeah, it was side by side with Gino at the finish. You know, you just barely getting the nose on you, but third place got to be pretty good. Who helps you get that car out here?
Oh yeah, third place is great when you're battling that hard for the win or for, you know, a position. That was probably photo finish, so that was great. I gotta thank BSR, Bob Shoecar, Kenny Shoecar. They've helped me get out here, loaning me trucks and just all sorts of stuff. I gotta thank Fast Eddie's Tire Pros, Turbo Espresso, Rick's Mobile AC, Hornets Nest Racing. My dad, he was in the shop with me till 11:30 last night working on the car. The whole team, because in the heat race I got wrecked and there was quite a bit of work to do, and you know, everyone banded together and got me back out there for this main event. So just gotta thank them the most.
All right, we'll give it up. Third place tonight, the 77 of Christian Miller. Well, Gino, you on the winning end of the photo finish with Christian Miller. You guys were really throwing it at each other. Talk me through that last lap and getting to second place.
No, him and Matt got out. They pushed up on the corner. I was able to dive underneath, and Christian got away from Matt, and we were right at the finish line, just battling it out. So I wasn't gonna give up. So I needed a top finish here. So.
Well, second place got to feel real good then. Who helps you get that 17S every time out?
Valiant Asphalt, Handy in the Valley, Hair Inc., Brandy Hood Promotions, the Teen Shop, and I'm sure there's somebody else I'm forgetting. And special thanks to the Schneider Racing Team. And Chuck Pierce is another one I wanted to thank too. All
right.
And the crowd, thanks for coming out, everybody.
All right, second place tonight, the 17S Gino Solomon. Well, Brad, it felt like you were playing second fiddle for a majority of that Hornet race, but when the opportunity arose, you took it and it stuck, and now you got another race win under the belt. Just walk me through picking the right spot to make the move to the win.
You know, I was following Dan, and I wanted to stay right on his bumper, and I kept looking back lap after lap to see the fast guys coming, and I'm like, oh no, and then caution came out, another caution came out, and I was like, you know what, I just got to stay behind whoever the leader is. And I did that, and some stuff went down or whatever, and it was, you know, we got the gap, and thankful for that. So.
And who helps you get that G2 out here?
I'd like to thank Amber, my girlfriend, all the fans. Love seeing you guys out here, so thanks for the support. Brandy Hood Promotion. She does all of our Seattle 11 stuff. Let's see, Estes Heating and Cooling. Probably forgetting something, but yeah.
All right, your race winner tonight, the G2, back in victory lane, Brad Gruhl.
We thank you guys for tuning us in once again here on a Sunday night on Seattle 11. This is Home Track Heroes. It's brought to you by All Ply Roofing. I am Caleb Hartz. He is Ben Iman. And Ben, my watch says it is time for the Mini Bump to Pass, a main event.
It is time for the Mini Bump to Pass, and we've got a great field of cars for you, led out by the General Flea of Tanner Bjornsson in the 01. And then he's lined up next to the 86 machine of... Ben Michelle pilots it today. He's got a sponsor on it. It's Pacific Northwest Traffic Control and Supply. But
he's got a top wing on it. I love it.
He does also have a top wing.
Okay. Devin Jenkins is the 195. Jacob Funk, Captain Chaos, is car number 8.
We got Scarlett Fisher piloting the 019. She's the Slam County prisoner escapee. And then starting next to the 59 of Tegan Bjornsson, you can see the red and blue lights of the Slam County Sheriff.
Oh, the red, white, and blue 10 was going to be Cody Hoops, and then somehow he convinced my boss, Joe Constance, to drive the car. So to the other 13 drivers in the field, you better let him win or I might have a bad Monday morning. Jacob Thornborough, the 07 in the tragic school bus.
That's right.
All right.
It's so sad.
All right.
Who else we got? Andrew Zachary's out here in 3 cylinders of Fury.
Oh, please tell me it's actually a Geo Metro.
He also goes by the Pool Noodle Punisher in the 39. Wilmer Chacon in the 415.
Matt Somerville is driving the familiar 21 Rocket Pop. Oh, I'll have to look at it and see.
Oh, trust me, you can't miss it, Caleb.
Okay, and Scott Kiesling's the 24.
Blaine Muma, the Purple People Eaters in the 17, and Steve Peters in the V8 Battle Wagon.
The Battle Wagon explains itself. All right, I'm good with that. Green flag is out. Here we go.
One lap, Caleb. They're going to drive normally for 1 lap.
Quote normally?
Quote normally. They don't have to bump. And then once I think we'll get a blue and yellow flag here, and then we'll go on board with 3 cylinders of Fury, Andrew Zachary. There it is. Time to bump.
Ben Michelle is very blinky.
Yeah.
That may be the blinkiest car.
General Flea and Devin's going to clean him out. That's going to allow Captain Chaos
yes,
in the lead. Here comes the Slam County Sheriff. He's not happy with that pit maneuver. He says, only I pit maneuver, people.
Does he realize that it's illegal to have red and blue flashing lights?
What are you talking about, Caleb?
I'm just saying.
Actually, the Slam County Sheriff did inform me he did just get approved for one of those police axle grabber thingies.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Spinning them around. It's bump to pass. You don't got to crash them, but you got to tag them at least, right?
Yeah, exactly. So Captain Chaos right now running away from the Slam County Sheriff. You can see the Slam County Sheriff almost say, there's the rocket pop. I don't know if you had a chance to see it in that shot. Ben Michelle.
Briefly.
There it is.
Ben, don't call me Romy Michelle.
There you go.
I had to stretch a little too far for that one.
You did it. Sorry.
I'll keep working on it.
That's all right. There's the rocket pop. Matt Somerville told me he wants to build the biggest signboard possible. He said, yes, he does handle worse because it is on his car flapping about. But
why does it look like the French flag? Is he French?
No. Have you never seen a rocket pop before?
I have. I'm just saying it also looks like a French flag.
Well, we can call him,
Thump.
I don't think Matt Somerville's one to surrender much as,
Hey, Steve Peters doing Steve Peters things. My boss just took out the little wagon.
The tragic school bus, Caleb, just getting nailed. Jacob Thornborough had to return to this car. There's Peters. Hits him once again. He had to return to this car after he built the Pizza Planet truck and then rolled it.
There goes around Peters. Okay, that's good. I was getting a little worried with Steve rolling it on my boss. That could have been scary.
And we're going to go to a caution. These drivers don't get cautions all that often, but they do if we feel like someone's in a spot here. And now it's Blaine Muma right now. As Muma and Jenkins, that is just a former converted Stinger. Jenkins got airborne. Peters cleaned him out. You can see Constance getting hit by the General Flea, and Constance, turning into the tragic school bus.
Retaliation. We are all about that at the workplace.
Yeah, and we've got like 14 more laps to go.
Nice. All right. Well, let's get back to it. We're going to settle everything down. We'll clear up some of the shrapnel here or there, and let these guys back loose. It'll be
The trunk is up on 3 cylinders of Fury.
It's for aerodynamics, I swear. It'll be fine.
It is true. He told me that this used to be his grocery getter.
I mean, aren't all of these former grocery getters in some form or fashion?
I'm pretty sure the Somerville car, at the first time he brought it out, he did drive it here.
Yeah, the Geo Metro in and of itself is the grocery getter, right? Mm-hmm. You want 55 miles to the gallon? There you go. Hello, Geo Metro.
Oh, but that's a lot of tragic school bus getting into the rear of him. So right now, Funk, Bjornsson, Somerville, your top 3, and Funk going to be rolling up on. Here comes the rocket pop around the Slam County Sheriff. Constance in the Hoops Mobile right there with him. Does Somerville give him Das Boot? And he's going to run into the wall.
Do it! Well, it was close enough. He made contact on that one. Our show today brought to you by All Ply Roofing. If you're enjoying the chaos that is Mini Bumped Past, send All Ply Roofing a big ol' thank you.
And right now, Zachary going to tag. That is the 07 Thornborough. Now Captain Chaos wants to put Thornborough a lap down. Does he clean his clock or does he just go by him? Okay, he just bumped him slightly.
Captain, my captain. Come on, buddy.
That's a little.
Also, don't leave your inside open to Jacob Thornborough because if he had been able to get there, if the thing wasn't a glorified station wagon, it might have had a chance. Oh, look at that. Devin Jenkins contributing to the chaos in the front straightaway.
And the pool noodle machine is, high centered or high seat, low tide.
Come on, it's munched.
Yeah, well, it's been munched for a long time. Let's take a look at this.
It looks like it's demo Nürburgring. Coming off the corner, hello wall, boom. Like it. We saw that in a late model last week.
Did Zachary just turn into Devin Jenkins? Is that what he wanted here?
Let's go.
He lets Constance go, and he just
Oh, one went by me. Well, I can't miss another opportunity.
And now we're going with the rear look. You can see the pool noodle. Oh, Constance hit the pool noodle.
Yeah, pool noodle is basically just target practice at this point, right?
It's true. I'm pretty sure there's a bounty to flip Andrew Zachary's car.
Really?
These drivers keep telling me, we're going to flip one.
The pool noodle will make it more buoyant. It'll be fine.
It is true.
Not that there's a drop of water out there, but...
Nope. Funk going to get us back in line. Oh, did Funk get sent to the rear? Are we throwing black flags and bump to pass?
I hope not.
I don't know what happened to Funk.
I think that's just against the spirit of bump to pass, right?
Well, I also know we don't put them in any order when we reline up. So right now, Somerville, Bjornsson, and Constance, your top 3.
Is it like the randomizer for the lineup? Is that how that works?
It kind of. I think actually we just throw all their ping pong balls in like a large bowl, and we let Derek Todorov pull one out and just decide who gets to start on the pole.
Derek Todorov loves ping pong balls.
It's true.
Nelson Motorsports in Snohomish offers a full-service sales and repair shop. Great prices on ATVs, quads, go-karts, motocross, bikes, scooters, golf carts, and more. Make Nelson Motorsports your one-stop center for motorized ATV fun. Do not recommend bumped passing on your ATV.
Oh!
That's not a good time.
No, do not do
Jenkins just got...
Jenkins into Funk.
Yeah! It was like a prison shank there.
Yeah, well, they're teammates, they're friends, and Andrew Zachary's over there somewhere. And,
Thornborough just wiped out the wall.
Into the wall. Have you seen the movie Cars?
Yes.
You know in the opening scene when the big wreck happens and they're towing the car back to his pit stall?
No, I'm an adult. I'm not a parent. I've forgotten everything about cars. I'm sorry.
Okay, so he's all conjunct, and he's on the line truck being towed back to his pit stall, and he just goes, put me back in. I can still race. That's how I imagine all these cars are.
Put me back in.
I can still race.
Well, all right. So Matt Somerville in the, I don't know. It still looks like the French flag to me. Oh, Devin Jenkins.
That's the second time Devin has hit that wall.
He really likes that spot on the wall. It's either that or he's trying to make it so Derek has to bust out the white paint in the week in between.
Really, Devin? You know how expensive paint is these days? Since they made us take all the lead out of it?
The lead was the good stuff. Makes it taste better.
Exactly. Yes, finally, someone.
Down the front straightaway they go as this one is rapidly running out. We'll throw a caution there for Zachary in the 39, who's just sadly sitting 3 cylinders, 3 wheels, thereabouts. I don't know.
Well, late race restart, always a detriment to the mini bump to pass division. As you can see, Zachary, I can still race.
I think I can. I think I can. Guess what? And no, got about to where he was before.
Well, I think he just wanted to put another lap down.
Hey, I mean, I'd give him credit for a lap there.
Sure. I'd let him Carl Edwards it. Let him get out of the car and walk over
and a new track record for the mini bump to pass. 5 to go-ish, or until it starts becoming less entertaining. Whatever we decide. That's Tanner Bjornsson
General Flea.
And Matt Somerville.
Oh, the battle wagons.
Yes, Steve Peters.
Gives the Slam County Sheriff enough.
The legendary bump to passer, Steve Peters.
Yeah, the Slam County Sheriff none too happy. Again, gonna go use his axle grabber that he just got permitted to use.
We are 3 wide for the lead.
Uh-oh.
The boss is leading for a second as the 86 of Ben Michelle goes around.
Yeah, the Slam County Sheriff, now wanting to get back to the podium, just decides to drive through him. But this is the only division where I'm not going to get upset with someone for driving through someone.
All right, that is Captain Chaos on the outside. Joe Constance on the inside. Get him, Joe! Get him!
Squeeze him into the wall. No, don't run him clean. Stop it. Stop running clean laps.
This is the perfect division to sell more race car parts. Put him in the wall.
There you go. White flag there is for the rocket pop.
1 to go as Somerville is out and cruising and he gone.
Yeah.
All right, so that's for second. All right.
So Somerville, Sunday drive around. The rocket pop is going back in the freezer because it's going back to victory lane.
He will take the W. All right, boss, come on. Come on. Flintstone it. No, that's not second. That's second. Photo finish.
Photo finish at the line.
Give it to my boss. All right. Constance 2, Funk 3. Let's give him an interview on the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium.
Jacob, third place. You were not afraid to dish out the damage tonight here. Good run for you in the Captain Chaos Mobile. How you feeling up on the podium?
Well, I have a very big headache from my teammate deciding to pile drive into my rear end, but that's okay because I shoved him in the wall. So it's fair game.
I guess what's all in the fair in love and war. Who helps you get that 8 car out here for mini bump to pass?
Mainly my dad, the Bjornson family. They help a lot. All the people in the crew, the Jenkins, and I don't have any sponsors, so just me, myself, and I.
Well, Jacob Funk, third place night, Captain Chaos. Well, a late driver change, I guess, works out. You ran near the front for most of that race, Joe, and just survived. But second place, hopping in for Cody Hoops.
Yeah, it was super fun. I got to thank Cody and Bender and all those guys for putting this thing together. I literally just got in it right before the main event. I never drove this thing before that, so it took me a minute to kind of figure out how to shift it and just kind of figure out the car a little bit, but it was super fun.
You survived there. A lot of carnage in that class. Sometimes survival tags it out. Anyone else you want to thank for this car getting out here?
Mostly the Bender crew and, of course, Cody Hoops and, my wife, my family, everybody that helps me out, and just supports me for all this craziness that we're always doing.
Well, a lot of fun. Randomly hopping in a mini bump to class. Congrats to Joe Constance, who comes up second place tonight. Well, Matt, tonight you were certainly the bomb, and that signboard. You talked to me about how you just love having the biggest signboard you could add. It was wagging about at different points. Were you worried it was going to tip over at any point and just pull you a different direction from the lead?
I definitely have been worried about that thing breaking off. I got quite a few hours into staying up late and painting that board.
Well, that looks really good on the top of your car, and it looks even better in victory lane. Who helped you get the car out here?
First, we got to start with John Bender Racing. Holy smokes, I built this car over the last 3 days, and I thought I had a half hour of work, and I invited John to come over and help me. Next thing I know, it was 2 o'clock, and even Amy Bender was out there running the impact on it. I mean, it was a thrash.
Well, the car made it out anyway, so that's got to feel pretty good. Anything else you want to add?
Shout out to just all my family, all my friends. I've been really busy doing this. It's Blake here, my son's 8th birthday. Pretty great day. If you like the rocket pop, I'm going to come right back out with the Pac-Man bus. We'll see what we can do there.
All right, Matt Somerville, victory on Blake's birthday. Congratulations to the whole team. Victory in the mini bump to class.
Oh, look at the nice family photo there. That works out good. All right, well, as if we didn't have enough fun, let's go bus racing. World Championships of Figure 8 bus racing begin as...
We've upgraded their pace car. It's now a pace roll deck.
Really?
Yep.
It's exciting. Conley Graber has about as many bus racing laps as anybody. He's in the red bus. Black and green bus, that's Jake Reppin. Row number 2, the black, it's a 007. Yeah, it's Chad Capps. And John Bender gets the little baby bus. All right, how about that? The former track champ.
The A10 Warthog, that's Jalen Vick in the Vick Brothers Racing Machine. Brian Thornborough pilots the Cruise 20. Jeff Ritter, the undisputed champion of bus racing in his Star-Spangled American Flag machine. And Matt Somerville pulling double duty, and I believe he brought Pac-Man.
Can he go?
Or Mario.
Can he go 2 wins on one Home Track Heroes episode?
He's going to have to wheel Pac-Man from the back if he wants to do that, and he's going to have to get past Graber in this NBQ machine and Reppin in the struggle bus.
You wonder if they thought about, while they were building the buses in the off-season, make model chassis choice on these ones, right?
Yep. Shock package.
Got real in-depth on how to make that bus corner just the way they wanted it to.
Well, I would oftentimes catch Jake after he'd come out of his simulator sessions, and he was talking about how he was radioing the team back in Kannapolis, North Carolina, trying to figure out really how they could dial in this thing, and he's hoping it'll pay off tonight.
I would love to see him get out of the bus and go, we just killed a Uke tire. We were just about a tenth too high on the right rear bus tire pressure.
I talk with most of these guys, and they can always tell me that they can usually find another tenth or two, usually when they don't hit another bus.
Oh, the little baby bus has got a rave going on inside there. Do you see that?
That is the Wilkinson family racing machine.
Man.
That John Bender has been beautifully gifted tonight, and Chad Capps goes, here's my bus.
I never knew that Bender was into a rave. That's fantastic news.
You learn something every day, Caleb.
He and I are going to bond over that. We're going to get the glow sticks out. We're going to
some Sandstorm,
little EDM and little joy. It's going to be great.
Yeah, we're going to go on board with Reppin, the pilot of the struggle bus. It's not struggle busing right now. We'll see if Graber sends the NBQ machine into the inside, side by side. These drivers are.
Does the left rear wheel on the Graber bus kind of almost hypnotize you?
Yep.
Like to the point of almost an intersection collision. Look at that. Reppin shoots way ahead.
That's the advantage of having a smaller bus.
Yes, Conley, whatever you would like. I'll
Shrek
agree to it.
I just realized, is Shrek on the hood of the struggle bus?
Really?
Do you see that? Do you see on the in-car? See the little figurine? Is that Shrek?
You think that's a Shrek?
I think that's Shrek.
Should not like a Kermit the Frog or something?
It could be Kermit.
Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here.
It could be Kermit. It could be Shrek. It could be...
what other small green? Gumby?
Could be Gumby.
All right.
Could be just cartoon stereotype Martian Man.
Almost got the collision in the intersection once again.
You got one coming. I feel it.
You think so?
Well...
Oh, Jalen Vick, look out.
Not when they're driving smart like that.
Well, Vick has put a bus on its side already.
Yeah, I mean, I don't... he gets a...
Noted bus wrecker, Jalen Vick.
Yeah, he gets a pass.
Well, speaking of passing, we're going to come back for some more bus racing. That is after the break. You're watching Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11. Home Track Heroes continues on here on Seattle 11, where Jake Reppin is hunting for bus racing glory, but Jeff Ritter has rallied his way up the field, and he is coming after him as we are... Ooh, it's a packed intersection here on Home Track Heroes. Our show brought to you by All Ply Roofing. I'm Caleb Hart, Ben Iman, the shaman of punctuality here tonight. As, wow, we're 3 wide with the buses coming off the corner, and Reppin just kind of forcing his way through, muscle and hands. Look out!
Ritter had to avoid a huge stack of cars. That's going to cost him positions. Chad Capps taking no prisoners. Now, I heard he did something kind of like Chad Capps was given this bus to decorate and make his own. He did something it's kind of like renaming a boat. I think he re-identified a bus. And I don't know if does that come with bad juju?
It might. It might.
If not, he can gladly come on the podcast with Derek Todorov and myself, and we'll rest assured he won't finish races after that.
Well, you're going to put the jinx on him.
Well, I mean, Ryan Housenfluck has pleaded with me for it to be off with him.
Oh,
so.
We go in bus with Jalen Vick. Love this. As Vick, the helmet even matches the bus. That's fairly cool.
I love that.
That works out good for me.
That works out real good. He's got to get around Bender now in the Wilkinson family racing bus. And
you think they're shifting on the fly in these things?
I didn't know they had gears.
Yeah, it's a vehicle, sir. They all have gears.
Well, no, I just figured that most of them didn't work.
What did you think they had? Like a rear differential with gear sets they're swapping out?
No, I thought it was maybe like 16 rats in a wheel. I mean, I figured, or like the gears don't really work, and they got to go from like first to like fourth and just hope it works.
Next time I venture the hamsters jamming, all I'm going to think is gigantic rodents of unusual size powering bus racing.
Well, you got to find your advantages where you can, and I'm pretty sure Jake Reppin just has about 4 more rats than everyone else.
Well, certainly looks like it. We managed to miss the massive intersection collision here in this one because Reppin is going to come around one more left-hand turn, and Jake runs to bus racing glory here on the night. Ritter is going to get second, I believe. Yep.
And the bus in front of him, Thornborough, will be in third.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot of buses getting lapped here tonight.
Yeah, they kind of give the stacked crush cars kind of make them have to go everywhere.
I see. Well, bus racing is all finished up, and as I understand it, we do not have a podium for the bus racers.
No, all the bus racers had to go get the cheese for the rats.
Is that what it is?
Yep, they all had to go do it together.
If you were Jake Reppin, who would you thank for the awesome bus racing adventure that we just had?
I would thank myself at Reppin Welding and Braille.
Okay.
I would thank all of my family for supporting me. I would thank my other drivers for not hitting me in the intersection. I would thank my 20 rats for working harder than the 16 rats and everyone else in the bus.
So you're burying the lead here. Can't thank my crew enough for everything they do.
Okay.
And my awesome wife for supporting everything I do.
Yeah.
That's
first out of the mouth.
Always 1 and 2. Yes.
That's always 1 and 2. That's fair.
All right, so we got to move on. We're going to get on to the 3/8. We also time traveled, so it's sunshining again.
Minecraft day-night cycle.
Yes. Northwest Pro 4 trucks are on the track 30 times around for them. First time we've circle tracked on the 3/8s here tonight on Home Track Heroes,
yes.
right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
That's cool. Shane Green's on the pole. He is in the 8 truck. To his outside, another part of Green Racing, it's the 7 truck of Matt Green out of Arlington, who's looking for some sponsors. Jeremy Howe is in the 12 truck, starting third out of Arlington, sponsored by TD Alskog. And it is the 3rd Green Racing truck, the 6 of Aaron Green out of Snohomish, also looking for sponsors.
Now we get to row number 3 to see Cody Cooey in the 46 out of Snohomish, sponsored by Truck Parts Northwest. Convenient. The 24 is McKenna Cox out of Arlington. She's sponsored by Northwest Boiler. Pete Brady is in the 4. He's out of Czech Race Monitor. Nope, that's not a town. The 49 is Calvin Miller out of Arlington. Calvin Miller out of Arlington, the 49. Buck Tom's Trucking of Arlington.
Can confirm Arlington is an actual town because starting inside row 5 is Greg Vaughn. Out of Arlington, the Alley Bar and Grill. To his outside, Mac Angelides in the 93 truck, sponsored by Squires Machine. Row behind them, Evan Tips, who does not have a hometown listed. We will not check Race Monitor for it, the 16 truck. And to his outside, Mike Tips, assuming he's probably from the same town as Evan.
Yeah, we've got a hot seat in the 30. Dawson Cox out of Arlington in the Bonus Family Racing Machine. He'll start next to Jesse Gonzalez in the 88 out of Arlington, sponsored by Squires Machine. So we've done the math. Dawson Cox needs an Outlaw Figure 8, a Street Stock, a Youth Hornet, and we figured the only way we'd make that fair is we'd make him start 5 laps down.
Okay.
And then a mini stock, and that's all he needs to complete the Evergreen cycle.
He has one in the trucks.
He's run a Super Stock Figure 8 race this year.
Yep.
He's run a Stinger race this year.
Okay.
He has not run the Outlaw Figure 8, so that's the one he needs there.
All right.
Obviously, his Pro Late that he runs regularly.
Yep.
Hasn't run a Street Stock. Hasn't run a Mini Stock. I believe he's run a Hornet. This season.
A lot of racing for Dawson.
And then again, the Youth Hornet, but we'd have to start him like 5 laps down.
Well, the green flag is out. We are underway. As it'll be Team Green. There's 3 Greens out there. There's 2 Coxes out there, a Partridge and a Pear Tree, all racing in this 30-lap Pro 4 Truck A main event.
Well, it is green on green action, and you hate to see green on green crime when you're fighting up front, but right now, Shane Green, the better of it. Right now, Jeremy Howe, the only person not named Green to be running inside the top 4, and McKenna Cox, Cody Cooey just trying to keep the 49 truck, which Calvin Miller has just been the dominant driver all season long. They're just trying to keep him, I think, behind as long as they can right now. So right now, Green is getting away from Greens.
Green moving forward away from Greens. You are correct. That is Miller in the 49 truck. Again, the dominant truck in the division. Watching him on the outside of Cody Cooey. There's also usually a Cole Cooey in the field, but Cole did not make this show. And right now, the longer you can keep him way out there, the better you are. As McKenna Cox is off the pace and sliding to the inside, right down by the Uke tire, and might be drawing our first caution
Yeah,
to
I think
this.
she saw Green through an opening, but ran into Green, cut the tire, and I think that's a tough break for McKenna. We'll see if maybe if it's just a tire, they can make a quick change. So you go to the inside of Howe and Green there, and then Howe and then tire.
Yeah, that little shock to the right front might have been enough to change us from green to yellow. As we'll get another look at it. Here's from Cooey's point of view as he's holding the bottom groove, following around the 12 of Howe. The contact right there. Let's see if we can get a peek at it as McKenna goes by. And yeah, that right tire, right front looks compromised at minimum. Might be tire, might be suspension. Get another look at it from this angle.
Yeah, she's going to split Green and Howe, and she's probably looking at, gets the bump there, and going to lose control quickly. She's probably going Howe, and then you're going Green, and then,
So be it.
So be it.
All right, we'll get them back together. Just a few laps down. 27 to go, if I saw the ticker correctly, as we're going to come back to green flag action this time around. And Shane Green has been out in front. Matt Green will be next to him coming up here on the restart as the first two rows look very similar to how they did on the initial start, just with that second row flipped around a little bit.
I want to know how Matt Green won the bid to be the green truck.
Well, at least they're consistent in their paint schemes, right? Monochromatic with a color up at the top.
And I can appreciate the 6, 7, 8 numbering, that they kept them all together.
It works for me. I also like the fact that we have a pace truck, as Don Fairley taking another nap in the Speedway Chevrolet pace car.
Yeah, this time it was Purple Cows.
Oh, the Purple Cow is delicious.
It is amazing. Well, greens are going to lead us back to green as we are rolling and getting ourselves back out there. And hey, McKenna Cox has rejoined us at the back of the field. She got back out there.
Whatever it was, quickly fixable for a very mechanically inclined pit crew back there in the Cox family. Up and running, and Calvin Miller says, cool, I'll take that advantage. We'll roll through. That's Dawson Cox in the red, white, and blue 30 truck that you usually see Rod Helmuth piloting. So we'll see what Dawson can do, as it is green and green. Once again, that is Shane in the 8, and Matt in the 7, who are doing battle.
Yeah, 3 green walls going to keep Calvin Miller right now from the lead, but Calvin trying to get all the way back to him. Cody Cooey might going to just settle in, try to follow Calvin through here, and great run for Dawson. He's going to hop up to the wall and try to carry a lot of speed. Here comes Calvin to the inside.
So we watch Calvin Miller making his way forward. Tire Pros, the official tire dealer of Evergreen Speedway. Tire Pros, your one-stop tire retailer where honesty is the best policy and they have a hassle-free guarantee. Tire Pros has all of the national brands and offers a nationwide warranty on your tires. Go to tirepros.com.
Well, I'm sure McKenna Cox could use Tire Pros for her truck here after cutting that tire early in the race. Now Calvin Miller, this is the battle with green for the green lead. And right now Dawson Cox is going to pass Matt Green, Cody Cooey there as well. So Cooey 3rd, Cox 4th, and right now Shane Green doing his best to try to keep Calvin Miller behind him. But Calvin's going to try the middle groove here and go around the outside.
Wow, watch the way that car kind of squared through the corner and had all kinds of drive. Calvin Miller from the mid portion of the racetrack. Green with a big push off the turn. And a new race leader just 8 laps into this is Calvin Miller.
Oh, and then Dawson.
Look out!
He was not green. And Dawson Cox going to run into Shane Green. Shane's going to end up in the Don Fairley manicured grass.
Starting to get some green back into it.
Yeah, we told him to move the sprinkler.
So let's take a look at how this went down, and he had seen the push from Shane Green in the previous corner. That time still kind of in the straightaway, and it is fairly hard to judge enter speed into the turn sometimes, especially in an unfamiliar race ride like Dawson has got. You can see the contact right there.
Yeah, Dawson clearly trying to get on the brakes, but just shifted a little too hard there, and now you're looking at it from McKenna's point of view, and you can see Dawson there and truck around.
McKenna driving by Big Brother in the process. Let's take a break. We have got more from the Northwest Pro 4 Truck A main event. That is all coming up next on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Back to action we go here in the Northwest Pro 4 Truck A main event here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Our show brought to you by All Ply Roofing. I am Caleb Hart, the pariah of puns. Ben Hyman is here with us, riding shotgun here in this truck race. And Ben, been a good race up front. Calvin Miller, who has been the dominant force in the division, now sitting on the front row, and will control this restart.
Yeah, we'll see if Cooey has anything for him on the outside. It has been tough. Calvin has just been so good this year. McKenna Cox firing off 3rd, Brady 4th, and we are running in green as the flag is out, and right now Cooey trying to stick with Calvin. Just look at the dig Calvin's got in that corner. And
he had a bunch, and part of that too, Cooey had to really slow his roll there. You saw him out of the corner, and he was a full nose ahead, and you don't want to be called for jumping that start, so he had to throttle it way down, and that kind of let Miller get a run up on him and beat him pretty significantly into the turn.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Cody Cooey. Did the smart thing. You don't want to get penalized for jumping the start, and you'd rather just, well, all right, I'm not going to get the shot at it, but at least I'm going to keep second.
Yeah, let me race it out at least from that position. Quite the tire smiley down the right-hand side of the Cooey truck as well. If you get a look at it coming through, that 46 has got a little rubber mark from about the 4 back to the rear fender of that truck.
A little lean on each other. Greg Vaughn in the 8 green, and then I almost said Rod Helmuth. No, it's Dawson Cox piloting today. He went to the rear for contact with Green, but he's now going to look to drive his way back up towards the podium and might go 3 wide. Dawson will.
Dawson and the 12 of Howe making a green sandwich. Matt Green was the meat in the middle and shuffled him backwards as here comes Vaughn now, peeking to the outside, looking for room around Matt Green for position.
Yeah, Calvin Miller. Now he's got a whole front stretch for distance right now between Cooey and McKenna Cox are about to go battle. Pete Brady hanging on the back of that battle in 4th.
Brady, the former Truck Series champion. Take a look from McKenna's point of view. If she angles outside again on Cooey, you'll get a really good look at that tire smiley again.
Oh,
there
yeah.
it is. Yeah, there was some beating and banging on that 46 truck a little bit earlier, but still hanging on to second as McKenna trying to get to him and get by him. I really want to see McKenna and Dawson get to racing a little bit here after a bit, but we'll see if that actually comes to fruition.
That would be fun. I'd be a big proponent of that, and would love to see the two of them get to duke it out again. And McKenna's really trying to keep her truck planted and might open the door a little bit for Brady to stick his 4 truck in there if he can. Can't quite now. Yeah, here we go. Pete Brady going to pull up alongside the 24.
There was contact there that ended up getting Brady loose.
Whoa.
Look out, Green. And we're good.
Well, the kid doesn't get it fired.
Oh,
no,
we're not good.
No, the caution flag. That's what happens when your leader's so far ahead, is he's going to come up on the caution so quickly.
Yeah. So caution flag there. That is Vaughn trailing Green into the corner, and I mean
it happened.
It did. There's a varying, I don't know whether you're clear or not going into the turn. As Greg started to make that move to the bottom of the racetrack, obviously that bottom lane was open. However, when that lane is yours is a debated thing in racing.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's something that you may have seen just there. My general rule was always, if I'm up to your numbers, the lane is mine, and that could have been, I don't know. If you guys want to hit the rewind button on that lovely function you got on your TV and watch it again for yourself, you can make your own determination.
Yeah, and then you can go to the Northwest Racing and Cesspool page and air it out.
Anonymously.
Anonymously, of course.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Miller and Cooey, 2x2. It is Cox and Brady, McKenna version, and Pete Brady, and then we have got the 6 truck, that's Aaron Green, and Dawson Cox sitting in position number 6 as we come back to Green. And that time, Cooey did not throttle that down. He wanted that lead.
Yeah, he's going to try to, can he close the door? No, he keeps to his lane. That's going to allow Calvin Miller to pull up alongside him. Kind of maybe surprised Cody didn't just try to get down, throw the block maybe, and keep Calvin behind him, but he keeps his lane, and it doesn't take Calvin long to just get more driving around him. Oh, and Dawson and Pete Brady, a little contact further back in the field.
Well, Dawson's trying to get up to that position where he can try to race with the 24 truck. As he does that, remind you guys that Washington Lottery is was created in 1982. The Washington Lottery established to generate revenues for state programs through the sale of lottery products. Lotto Scratch has more than 30 games a year to experience all along with Powerball, which is like at $1.4 billion or something. Mega Millions, Hit 5, Match 4, and Daily Keno. Washington's Lottery, dream big.
Well, right now, McKenna Cox has put a truck in between her brother and herself as Greg Vaughn around.
Look out, Greg! To a stop and the caution's out.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happened here with Greg, but we're going to get a replay of this as he gets the truck refired and rolling again. Let's take a look at Mr. Vaughn, see what happened here, and battling with the green, and again.
That's Brady. There's,
yeah.
Well, in and through, he got a little nose help coming through, and then that transition where the 3/8 turns into 5/8 is always a place where trucks, cars, whatever, like buses, tractors, monster trucks, you name it, they tend to unhook, and unfortunately, Greg couldn't save it. To the back of the pack for you.
Yeah, he'll return to the rear, and we'll see what else we got to do here. It looks like we'll get set up as Greg Vaughn will go to the rear, and now McKenna Cox is going to have a shot at Calvin Miller on the restart. Dawson's going to restart right behind her. Dawson could potentially give McKenna a good push here through the start.
You know, I wonder if we just saw a penalty enforced as well, because Cooey was second, and now he is restarting third.
Or is it last completed lap McKenna had made the pass?
Had she?
She had put
it was
yes,
close.
She had put
Okay.
Cooey between her and Dawson. So
okay, so Miller, McKenna, Cooey, and Cox. It is the Cox siblings in the outside row. Miller and Cooey down on the bottom. 12 laps left.
Green flag is out.
We've seen McKenna do this before. She's good in that outside groove on restarts. Can she hang with and do something with Miller?
And this is the most anyone's been able to, I think, hang with Calvin so far off the restart. And Calvin's
too much power.
Yeah, just going to clear
down.
No.
So down the front straightaway, Cox will bring the car down to the lower groove, and I just cost myself a buck by calling it a car. It's a truck. Bring the truck down to the lower groove. Meanwhile, Dawson trying to get inside, and just like we talked about there on the Vaughn and Green spin, you can have the exact same debate right there as Cody Cooey goes around.
And JD's so unimpressed he's put the shades on.
Well, his future's pretty bright. Let's take a look at it on replay. To the inside, there's Dawson. I think you can definitively say the nose was not up to the numbers, but again, when do I have the lane versus when I don't? And let that one get debated on Facebook forever and eternity.
Yep, we'll leave that one to you, and you can see Dawson was trying to maybe get the lane, and Cooey. Two trucks cannot occupy the same amount of space. Matter does not work like that, unfortunately.
Here's from Cooey's point of view, and you can see him going in, and there. Brown goes the back. And Cody is probably erasing Dawson from his Christmas card list here at the moment, although, you know, I can't imagine drivers really do Christmas cards anymore.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I think that's gone.
Well, we're down to just a few more laps to go here in the Northwest Pro 4 Truck main event. They're double file once again. It is Calvin Miller and McKenna Cox. It sure looks like Dawson just got penalized for that, as he is now at the back of the field, along with Cody Cooey, and we're back to green.
Well, Dawson's been able to drive up towards the front again, and McKenna gets another good jump on the restart. Again, doesn't get aggressive to close the door. Will she?
She's clear.
Yeah, great restart for McKenna. Going to clear Calvin Miller. Calvin's going to get right to her back bumper. We'll see if she's able to drive away. A little push there.
And that's going to be the fatal flaw. Because there goes Miller, because that truck has just been glued all day.
Yep, there it is. Calvin Miller back to the lead. Well, McKenna, if she gets another chance at a restart, which with the way we've been driving today is a high likelihood, something she can prove on the outside. She got the jump for it.
We'll be down 9 laps to go. Miller, Cox, Brady now trying to hold off Green, one of 3 different Greens. Their inversion in the 6 truck. He's working to his inside and trying to make the pass, but Pete Brady's been strong and holds third for now.
Yeah, good run right now for the 4 truck. We haven't seen Pete Brady a ton this year, but whenever he comes out, he's always got a good, strong run inside that truck. And see if there's any time for Dawson Cox to try to march his way back forward. Saw him now on the back of Greg Vaughn. Outside, a bunch of Greens.
Nice to see this truck class get healthy this year, as we've had good car counts. This is not the first time we've had 16 trucks on the field here at Evergreen Speedway on the year. Pretty a good division. They travel around a little bit, but
they go to Canada.
Yeah, but Evergreen kind of the home track, the home base for a lot of these drivers. And Calvin Miller has shown out so far this year. Everybody trying to catch up to him as you're watching. Dawson Cox in the 30 truck trying to make the move around Howe in the 12.
Yeah, good run right now. Again, Green and Brady side by side. Ooh, Brady goes off the banking hump from that section. We talked about how hard that is. That might open the door for Green here to get inside. Aaron Green trying to plant his Snohomish-based truck around Pete Brady and clear him. Brady's going to make a lunge to the outside, see if he keeps the truck planted.
He's going to have that big push again. This is going to be right there. Does a good job hanging on to it, though.
Yeah, did ride it well. 5 to go, but right now, see the spot, Aaron Green.
He has got a nasty push at the center of the corner. He's doing a good job just wrestling that truck as best as he can to not lose more spots. He'll go down to the middle. That truck handled better that time, entering on the bottom, so might just be trying to carry too much momentum up and around the top when he's got it, as we're down to 4 laps to go.
Yeah, just trying to hang on. This is the best battle on track. It's the battle for third right now. Here's your leader, Calvin Miller. You can see the gap he's built to McKenna, and you got to say, healthy gap McKenna has built back to the rest of the field. So
yeah,
the 24 truck, if maybe doesn't have to get involved and cutting a tire, has to come from the rear early, had probably speed to battle up at the front of this racetrack tonight, but unfortunately just not the way things are going to break for McKenna. And Calvin, again, as we mentioned, has just been so dominant.
Dawson Cox trying to work to the inside of the 7 truck and see if he can pick up one more spot. We're down to 2 laps to go here in this battle for third that we're watching out. The 6 truck of Aaron Green and the 4 of Pete Brady. This one looks pretty academic at this point in time, Ben. Calvin Miller taking the white flag, 1 to go.
Yeah, just one more time around for Calvin Miller on a Sunday drive for so much of this race, because once he got up to the front, really didn't have to look back. And he's going to stroll himself down the back straightaway. And no, he's only got one more race, I think, away from chasing a truck championship. Comes off turn 4. Calvin Miller, add another one to your bag.
He is going to owe some fair scones to his crew for the great effort they've done all year long. McKenna Cox 2, Aaron Green picking up a podium for the Green family. He'll take third. Well done by him.
Great run for everyone involved, and Calvin Miller, another win.
All right, let's talk to him. Miller will have something to say on the Angel the Winds Casino Resort podium.
Aaron, you had a great battle going there with Pete in the closing laps. How'd you get around him?
Oh, he was just getting really loose, and I just capitalized on a couple of his mistakes and squeaked by.
Placed the truck in the right place, right time. Pays off with a 3rd place finish. How do you feel about Evergreen Speedway versus the many tracks the tour goes to?
Oh, Evergreen's great. The fans are awesome. I mean, it's a little bit bigger than our normal tracks, but we love it.
Who would you like to thank for a 3rd place finish tonight?
Well, first and foremost, I'll thank my wife for letting me come out and do this, and everyone else that helps.
Driver of the number 6, Aaron Green, 3rd place tonight. You came back from a cut tire, fighting all the way back up to a 2nd place spot. How did you do it?
Honestly, my spotter, he kept me positive the whole time. I was in the pits ready to give up, and they're like, no, get back out there. It's still 1 to go. And so my spotter, for sure.
Now you're turning just the Evergreen Speedway races this season. Put on quite the show so far. What more do you think you need to get to Calvin next time?
Just a little more speed and probably commitment. I get there and I'm just like, I don't know, I don't want to be dirty or anything, so just more commitment to it.
And who would you like to thank for the 2nd place tonight?
My mom, my dad, John Bender, my brother, Northwest Broilers. I'm sure there's more, but I'm forgetting them. Oh, Uncle Wayne.
Driver the number 24, Driver the number 24, McKenna Cox, 2nd place tonight. 2 wins in 2 different kinds of trucks. What was it like going from the Spec Ranger trucks into the Pro 4s tonight?
Oh, I mean, they're wildly different from jumping to the way they handle and the track layout, really. I got to give a huge shout out to the Vic brothers for letting me race that truck yesterday and for making it as fast as it was.
Hey, you certainly put on a show there tonight. How confident are you heading into the championship night just a couple of weeks away?
Oh, I don't know. I got to play it by ear and see how it is. I mean, tonight was hot and the track was slick and everybody had something for me, it felt like, really. The restarts were fun. Totally didn't want to see them coming out the last 3 laps. And, yeah, that was a fun race for sure.
Who would you like to thank for your 1st place tonight?
My mom and dad and my sister and my grandma and grandpa for coming out to support me. Buck Tom's Trucking, Precision Forestry, Brandy Hood Promotions, and Northwest Poly Services, and Precision Forestry.
Driver the number 49, Calvin Miller, your Pro 4 truck race winner.
We have reached the coveted final segment of Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11. I am Caleb Hart. He is Ben Iman. Our show is brought to you by All Ply Roofing. And tonight, Ben, We close things out with the vintage modifieds. 10 of them on track, 30 laps around the 3/8, and here is your lineup. It's Mike Clother in the 7, and to his outside, that is Northwest Racing Royalty and Shane Strimple, car number 57. The inside of row number 2, it's the Root Beer Racing number 25. I've been watching this guy race for nearly 30 years now. That is Bob Greiner out of East Wenatchee, Washington. And to his outside, Vince Conwell in the 82. He is the president of the Northwest Vintage Mods Association here in the Northwest. He'll go outside the second row.
Jason Quatso pilots the 8. He always seems to be fast whenever he makes his way to the Super Speedway of the West. He'll start next to perennial threat to win Steve Woods in the 22. Row number 4 sees Brian Cottrell pilot the 10, starting next to the 23 machine of Cale Cheff.
Final row, Vern Houston's also a Northwest veteran from hobby stocks, street stocks, and more, now into a vintage modified. He's in the 77, and to his outside, former Evergreen Speedway feature winner Kyton Jones. Car number 30 will start outside that 5th row, 10 cars, 30 times around, and lots of stories to be told between the drivers we have. It is a varied and fun field.
It is going to be a fun one. The Cascade Push Truck Association pace vehicle is going to bring him towards the green. Don Fairley locked the keys inside the car, as well as his scones. So now he's just sitting sadly, longing for.
Who's got the spare keys?
Don Fairley.
Oh, well, that's not good. Green's out. Here comes Strimple. The outside said that's Northwest Racing Royalty. His family includes Denny Strimple, who is the absolute dean of Northwest Racing photographers. One of the absolute best for decades and decades was Denny, and we miss him very much. Shane looking to do well as he works around the outside, and he's got the early lead here in this one.
A good run for the 57, going to make that outside lane work. Here comes the A2 machine, Vince Conwell. He's got Steve Woods all over his rear. Kel Cheff hops up to the high line. Kyton Jones in the high line moving. I think everyone's logging up behind Mike Clother in the 7, and get to the outside is not something we normally say here at the Super Speedway of the West. The inside line usually so effective, but right now, get to the inside. Oh, problems for Kyton Jones. 30 got real squirrely, and oh no, Bob Greiner.
Careful, Bob.
Bob meet dirt.
Dirt still bad.
Limping,
Bob rolling,
slowing, Megasaurus.
No, to a stop.
Yeah, Bob, get away from that giant car-eating dinosaur.
Yeah, that's bad. The romping, stomping, fire-breathing Megasaurus just hanging out in the back straightaway, and hopefully it's not in the mood for vintage mods today. As let's take a second look at how that all went down.
Looks like
into the corner, and was that Vern who got him?
I think it's Cottrell in the 10.
Ah, yes, Brian, who's been around quite a bit, and Bob does a little agricultural racing, and limps her to a stop. Here's from Jones' perspective.
Ooh, Clother just up the track, and Kyton's gonna go. Clearly something not quite there. Oh, yeah, and then we got to see more contact.
A little bit of a hiccup in the jump. Here's from Cottrell's point of view. Trying to go in half groove lower through the corner and gets down almost to the grass to try to make the run. Now yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, there wasn't enough room.
No, and 2 cars, 1 spot. Unfortunately, Greiner gets the wrong end of it.
Yep, and he ends up in the dirt, but he hopefully scrub the tires, get him back out there, and
avoided Megasaurus. That was a big thing.
That was the big one.
All right, so 2 laps in, Strimple leads, and that's going to put, is it Woods to his outside? No, it's Cale Cheff, I believe.
It is Woods.
Is it? Oh, wow. Yep, Cheff is in behind him. As we're going to go Green, Strimple, and Woods down the front straightaway. Usually you see Woods starting 10th on the field and having to work his way forward to be second after 2 laps. That's a big boon for a Steve Woods.
Yeah, pretty big run right now, and Cale Cheff joining him on that on the outside. And like I said, that was just that outside line moving off the start. When the 7 car, really kind of slowed down the move, and that allowed Woods and Cheff to really jump to the outside. And I'm sure Steve Woods is going to be loving that as he takes the lead.
And pulls it down. He'll get down to the low side here relatively early. Strimple now trying to hold off Cheff as we watch the in-car from Cottrell on the right-hand side of your screen, and on the left-hand side of the screen, there it is in practical application as he follows Strimple into the corner.
Yeah, trying just to settle in. Ooh, getting a little unsettled is Strimple there as he battles with Cheth. Brian Cottrell trying to find a way around. Good look to maybe duck low. Now just settles into his line. And, there's Conwell on the outside. Hello, sir.
Conwell's kind of made a living around that middle to outside groove. We see him consistently in there, and I think part of that's, okay, he's going to go where they're not. He's not a happy follower a lot of the time here at Evergreen Speedway.
Sure, he wants to make his own decisions and do his own research.
Saw Griner back out in the field. There goes Bob to the inside, trying to pass Vince up. So Griner down on the inside of Conwell, trying to pick up a spot. Meanwhile, Cottrell looking for room underneath. Shane Strimple, he'll make the pass.
I think we've had a lot of drivers today, Caleb, that might need a lesson in 2 cars, 1 spot don't work.
Well,
not blaming anyone.
Yeah, math is hard sometimes.
I'm not good at it.
No.
I stopped at 4.
Heck of a fry cook, though, I understand.
Me? Yeah. I nailed it.
Nice.
Thank you.
Put that up there with.
It's like when your favorite sitcom brings in like a random guest star.
Yep.
They found a C-lister who's like not doing anything anymore and was willing to maybe milk a little money, needed to pay rent for the month or something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's exactly what your role was.
Yep.
Good to know. Cottrell is trying to run down Cheth for the spot here. Brian, familiar number 10. Seen that a lot for him at Evergreen Speedway over the years. He follows Cheth running in second right now. And Cale, a little defensive driving class out of him, hugging that white line and pulls away out of turn number 2 to add him a little bit of gap over Cottrell.
Yeah, not really able to find a way right now. Cale Cheth, I think, is going to just try to drive back to Steve Woods if he can. We're going to put, I think that's Vern Houston, a lap down. And see the field kind of starting to string out here a little bit. And sometimes I feel like the vintage mods just need like an old-timey baseball announcer.
Like a Vin Scully?
Yeah, I would love Vin Scully to commentate vintage mods.
Well, here's the thing. The only thing vintage about them is the bodies on these cars. They're essentially late models from the frame to all the rest of the parts around them.
Well, then maybe 70s baseball announcer, would that work? Kind of happy medium?
See if he can resurrect Harry Carey.
Exactly, there we go.
Out of 1, out of 2. It is Cheth and Cottrell. That's the best battle on the racetrack. Pretty cool in-car here from Steve Woods, as Woods sees nothing but clean air and clean track on the right-hand side of your screen. The Brandy Hood Promotions team found a relatively good place to mount that in-car camera.
Yeah, that's got to feel pretty good as a racer, just to be looking up and just seeing nothing but racetrack.
You look at where that is, because you can't see the right front tire, so that's got to be right front, I don't know, shock mount in and around the frame or somewhere around there.
That could work. We learned today that I'm not real great with what parts these cars have, so maybe you shouldn't be asking me.
You've got all of 2 years of racetrack announcing at this point in time. We'll get you better at it.
It's all right. We'll be in the lab this offseason.
Griner makes the move past Strimple. Ooh. Here's Cottrell trying to muscle his way up.
Yeah.
As we're just about halfway through this. It's not done yet. Brian Cottrell has now stuck his way into second, but did he overshoot it? Nope, no. Still grabs it and drives forward. I thought you might see the cross under from Cheth, but couldn't make it.
We'll see if Brian Cottrell now has enough speed to try to get back to Steve Woods. We're halfway home, and there's Woods at the line, and we're about maybe 5 or so seconds behind right now in Cottrell.
It's a country mile on the way back there. Well, is your roof keeping up with all the weather, washing and dishes out? Call All Ply Roofing for a free estimate. It's allplyroofing.com, your residential and commercial roofing team. That is All Ply Roofing.
Right now, Steve Woods is out and away. His car's handling what the racetrack is dishing out at him. And Brian Cottrell is going to look to try to close this gap, but he's going to have a very limited amount of laps to do it.
Woods has been on the top of the podium on this Sunday show before, so we're down to 12 laps left. Cottrell trying to get past Clother.
Probably not happy with lap traffic not moving out of the way.
Cheth coming with him here.
There we go.
Let's see if Cale can make a push here through that outside lane. And no dice that time around. Let's go in-car here. Vince Conwell is going to give us a look from the inside of the number 82 Vintage Modified as he chases Shane Strimple around.
And this would be for 5th right now, and Bob Griner running in 4th. Good run for Bob in the 25 running 4th right now. We'll see if Conwell has anything to say about that and can close up.
It's the first time I remember Bob running Evergreen Speedway in a very long time as well. So his son RT has been in the car a couple of times here at the track. Actually kind of looks like Strimple is starting to run back in on Bob, and push him around as they're coming up to lap Houston.
I think it's Clother.
Oh, Clother, gotcha.
So we will have to see how that plays out right now. Griner going to go to the outside, might open the door for Strimple if he can't clear the 7, but he's going to look to put a lap car between him and Strimple. Now Strimple will just be forced to follow him through because you don't want to spend time behind a lap car while you're battling for position.
First met Bob back in the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval days running was Bombers and then Street Stocks. Now they're calling them a Hobby Stock or a Thunder car here these days, and very successfully as well. Guys in and around his team have been with him for a very long time. So now they got RT up and running. Bob doesn't race as much, but still very talented race car driver as he works his way into the corner and tries to expand on that advantage. Strimple will close up on him through the Apex 2. So again, you're watching through Vince Conwell's look on the right-hand side. Got the MSD box mounted to the dash. A very cool looking inside the camera shot there from the 82.
They got a really great advantage. You see a lot out of that windscreen too, so awesome view there. We're watching Steve Woods, who's got 5 more revolutions of the oval till he'll be picking up another win at Evergreen Speedway. And I think right now, if you're Steve Woods, you're just please no caution, please no caution, please no caution.
Yeah, this is just a nice Sunday afternoon stroll for Steve here is coming up on it. Again, and I'm watching Conwell. Conwell from his seat can almost see his tires. That's a huge advantage over a traditional stock car in which you cannot see the front end, right?
Right. They haven't put so much wheel input in through that corner. He seems to be fighting the car a little bit right now.
A little bit. His bump is a little off on that. As Woods, half a straightaway on Cottrell. We have not seen Cottrell for a minute, so Brian really not making a whole ton. As Clother going down another lap, down the back straightaway, and that time he doesn't race the leader.
That's a smart move there, and Steve Woods just, nothing to say today, just dominance. Just got out early and then never looked back. You can see Cottrell, I would not call this striking distance, but I would say in the same picture somewhat. And if maybe Woods doesn't get to the advantage, get to the clean air so early, Cottrell might have had something for him today. But I think right place, right time led to Woods just being able to put his car in the right spot and just drive away.
It would have to be a pretty massive mistake here from Steve Woods in order for Cottrell to do anything here, although he has made a little ground here in the final coming lap. And off the corner, chalk up another Vintage Mod win for Steve Woods. Cottrell was gaining. He was coming there at the very end, although you don't know if Woods was letting off and taking it relatively easy as well. As he'll take that, Kilcheth will take third, and the Vintage Mods are the final podium of the day. Let's go talk to your top 3 in the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium.
All right, Cale, another podium finish here at the Super Speedway of the West. Talk about having to battle with that 10 car for quite a while and running this racetrack again.
Yeah, it's just a super hot day. The car is super slippery and it's a handful to handle.
Well, a tough race car. You obviously had the skills to get up on the podium. Third place day. Who helps you get that car out here?
My grandpa, John Woods, my uncle Steve, all of my family and friends, and then 7K Construction Remodel, Classic Interiors, First Day Electric, AccuVac Furnace and Duct Cleaning, and I think that's it.
All right, we'll give it up. Third place tonight, Cale Cheth. All right, fast time qualifier today and second place in the race. To sum up your whole race day here, Fred Evergreen.
Well, it was a lot of fun. I just want to thank Doug and Tracy Hobbs for giving us the opportunity and the Lord for keeping us all safe. I think everybody had a good time. We've been struggling as of late, but without my buddy Bill Fleischacker giving me a hand and Mike Kyles and Adventure Motorsports here in Monroe, they helped me. And Garage Force, they did all your guys' floors in here. Can't do it without them. I really appreciate it. I had a blast.
Yeah, good run for the 10 car. You had to get around the 23. You were sizing up that move for a while. Walk me through that one.
Yeah, it was. I was a little quicker through the center. He was getting through the corner well, and I didn't want to rough him up, so I just kind of, just a little bit.
All right, second place tonight for the 10 car. Make some noise. All right, top stop at the podium tonight after a good run. Once you got to clean air, you didn't look back. How's the car feeling? Because it felt like it was on rails from the booth.
Yeah, it definitely was. I was once I got it, a 4 or 5 car length lead. I was really just laying back, and I saw Brian coming towards the end, so I got on it for a few. But yeah, the car was great tonight. I've been struggling out here the last couple of races, so I finally figured something out.
Yeah, another win for you here out of the Super Speedway of the West. Talk about who helps you get that car out here.
I couldn't do it without my dad. My wife puts up with me out in the shop. my kids, my family, everybody that comes out here to support us. It's kind of a family affair for us. We got other cousins and stuff racing in other places too, so it's a lot of fun. We enjoy this.
All right, well, make some noise one more time for your race winner, driver of the 22, Steve Woods.
Fun episode of Home Track Heroes today. And hey, Ben, let's do it all over again on next Sunday's show. Let's come back to the fair. Why not?
That sounds great. I can't think of a better way to spend a Sunday.
Figure 8 Mania coming up on next Sunday's show. Outlaws, Super Stocks, and Stingers all on the Figure 8s. We'll have Street Stocks and Mini Stocks as well. The next time you can come to Evergreen Speedway, Saturday, September 13th, where we will decide the Pro Late Model Track Championship between Naima Lang and Haley Constance.
It's going to be a good one, Caleb.
All right, on behalf of the Hobbs on production, for Ben Hyman and for the Speedy Turtle-loving Derek Todoroff in Victory Lane, my name is Caleb Hart. We will see you next Sunday here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Join us next week for more great racing from Evergreen Speedway.